Max Scherzer is simply one of the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball, if we're being honest here. He's one of those guys who's just progressively gotten better as he ages. It doesn't matter how old he is, he's just going to continue to throw hard and be great. Another thing about Scherzer is how incredible he was during his big Nationals contract. It's hard to find someone who delivered on a big contract with big expectations as much as Scherzer did. In about 7 seasons with the Nationals, he only had one season where his ERA was above 3, and that was in the fake shortened 2020 season. He was selected to the All-Star game in 6 of those 7 seasons, the only one he didn't, of course, being the year there was no All-Star game. He won 2 Cy Young Awards, he finished top 5 every year he didn't win, and helped the Nats win a World Series championship in 2019. I mean, what more could you ever ask for? Jacob deGrom, on the other hand, is even better. deGrom did have his rookie year a little later than usual for a star like him, but impressed immediately, winning National League Rookie of the Year and becoming an All-Star the next while helping lead the Mets to a pennant win. 2016 and 17 were really solid seasons for him, but 2018 was the start of something incredible for deGrom. In 2018, Jacob deGrom threw 217 innings with a 1.70 ERA, winning the Cy Young Award, and then won it again the next year with a 2.43 ERA. He's insane and may wind up being one of, if not the greatest pitchers to ever live. Okay, now imagine both him and Max Scherzer on the same team in the same rotation. How great would that be? But then imagine that team they're both on to be the Mets. And yeah, it's probably not so great after all. Big thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Baseball season is in full swing, and that means you can get $20 off tickets at SeatGeek with promo code ITALK. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, well, they're a ticketing app that makes buying tickets super simple. I've got the app on my phone, and it's by far and away the easiest way to buy tickets. Whether it's baseball, concerts, or any other type of sport, SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying incredibly easy. And they actually tell you if the ticket you're thinking of buying is a good or a bad deal. Green means it's a good one, and red means it's a bad one. Like I said, we're in the thick of the baseball season, and if you're watching this video, that probably means you like baseball. To get the best seats with the best deals possible, I'm going to be using SeatGeek for when I go to a Major League Baseball game, and you should too. Get $20 off your first purchase with promo code ITALK, and make sure you click the link in the description or in the comments to download the app. Now, back to the video. 2021 started too good to be true for Jacob deGrom, and it kinda was, because after throwing 92 innings with a ridiculous 1.08 ERA and 146 strikeouts, deGrom could not keep pitching and had to miss the rest of the season due to elbow issues. He arrived to Mets spring training presumably healthy, or at least a lot better than where he was months prior. To add on to that, Steve Cohen had opened his checkbook months prior to Max Scherzer, giving him a record-breaking $130 million over the course of 3 years. So you got a healthy deGrom and another newly signed ace in your rotation alongside him. This is the stuff of nightmares for opposing lineups. Well, within a few weeks, deGrom had to be shelved after having a stress reaction in his right scapula, and he hasn't pitched since. As for Scherzer, he was doing just fine, in fact great, until just recently. In his first 8 starts with his new team, Scherzer threw 49 and 2/3 innings with a 2.54 ERA and 59 strikeouts, won 5 games, and was easily one of the better arms in the National League. What's new? A team that was paying Max Scherzer was getting their money's worth. Shocker. And then more disappointment. The Mets were taking on the Cardinals with Max Scherzer on the mound. It was the top of the 6th, and after throwing a slider in the dirt to Albert Pujols, Scherzer immediately looked to the dugout and called the trainer out, taking himself out of the game. Never a good sign, of course. It turns out he suffered a moderate to high-grade oblique strain that will keep him out between 6 and 8 weeks. That's at least a month and a half. Not what you want. And it wasn't long before that when it was announced deGrom coming back in mid or late June would be a best case scenario. He's currently healing and still needs time, but should be back around July. So you not only have just your 2 best pitchers gone, but 2 of the best pitchers in baseball and 2 of your top paid players gone. In fact, that's $70.5 million on the injured list for the Mets right now. So what now? Depth. lots of depth. The Mets have been really good so far this year, especially the pitching. Chris Bassett has been great, Carlos Carrasco has been solid, David Peterson and Taijuan Walker as well. That's a solid rotation, even without your two top guns. But like I said, they need depth. Depth is vital, and the team is already looking to acquire some help in the absence of those guys. According to MLB insider Jon Heyman, Oakland Athletics starter Frankie Montas has recently been scouted by the team, along with Reds starter Tyler Mahle. Mahle's actually been pretty bad up until this point, at least result-wise, but his fielding independent pitching, aka FIP, which is a better indicator of what your ERA should be, is really good. But regardless, the Mets are looking for a starter, and those two guys are options for sure. Now, as long as the Mets win games, the fans and the team shouldn't really care, but it's still a cause of concern. When a team has a ton of money like the Mets and is willing to spend that money, you're bound to get some contracts that don't turn out quite as you wanted, but man, are the Mets cursed. I mean, for DeGrom and Scherzer to both have injury issues and be out for at least some decent time each, crazy. And of course, that's a ton of money not being put to use. Like I said, Mets fans won't and shouldn't care as long as they win. But if the team starts to slide a little bit, which definitely could happen, DeGrom and Scherzer being out certainly doesn't help with that. So with Steve Cohen as the Mets owner, the Mets are going to spend money and try to win, and that's a very good thing, but also something that will have a cost to it. The more money you spend, the more money there is that will go to waste. It's just bound to happen. Let me know what you think about this situation, and thank you for watching.